Hello. The application that I researched and found very useful is splashlearn.com, and it was really easy to set up my classroom, and it's a free website with lots of resources. It was kind of cool to see over here it created like a class password that's easy for the children to access with a class code, and I can build my classroom in here and add email addresses so that I can share things with the parents or assign assignments to the class. There's also a point that I wanted to make, which I was looking specifically for the younger kids. I found before with my own children using like an ABC mouse is very helpful and things like that. And this is somewhat similar. It has topics or curriculum that is math and English. So under math, there's number sequencing and counting and addition, subtraction, and measurements, and even geometry. When I did set up the site specific for me, I did appreciate that they asked me specific questions about my students, which would be in general right now because I don't actually have physical students. But I looked at it like as far as I knew where my daughter was at when she started kindergarten. So I said that, she didn't know some of her numbers. She didn't know how to pronounce certain letters. And it asked lots of really good questions about counting and whatnot. So I felt like that was a really good starting point to ask about, to give them a gauge so it's customizable to you. So your class experience and your goals are definitely customizable, and I like that right away. And again, signing up was super easy. It only took me a couple minutes, and that's important to me. And then it enhances like my students learning by again, math has lots of assignments that you can assign to your students, or videos that make it fun and interesting for them. So, like, for instance, I also found in the English section, there are learning to read words, sight words that I will definitely be using a lot, and letters and sounds and things like that. So, and tracing lowercase letters, for instance. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this and see what comes up. So letters and sounds, like letter S and its sound. And I just put test as my student. So you can download and print thing. That's just the invite. But you can put the link so that you can download and print it. So you can put it in their folders. So let's see here. And then one really cool thing that I found to be super helpful is there's a book library, and I can envision myself using this quite a bit. And there's also like read to me. So in my clinical hours, and just from my own experience, obviously with kindergartens, many of them may not be able to read. So in this instance, you can click on here and the book can be read to the student. Otherwise, there's definitely many other options that the kids can read along with in these books, but there's a lot of books to choose from, and I love that. Also, you can assign other assignments, like, let's see here. Let's see. New assignments like counting and addition, subtraction, measurement, like I said before. And then let's see. I'm just curious about the live classes. So there are some live classes, and it is gamified for some. So that's kind of cool, knowing that a lot of kids are tech savvy. So there's some classes that you would get notified about. And then you can click on it and use that in your classroom and have someone else kind of teach the lesson at that moment. And then, so I'm just going to go back to my dashboard to see what I can do. And then there's also down here ways that you can at home do things as well. So I really like that you can encourage the students to do things at home with their caregivers besides just reading and doing assignments in class. I envision using it more as a whole class activity. And then I wanted to see what it says for this. Let's see if we could preview some. Okay, yeah. So obviously they're kindergartners, so we're starting off small. And that was my intention when I set up the class, that I wanted to do the basics because I don't know where everyone's level is going to be initially. So, having them tell me which number goes where would be really helpful. And then, deciding which one the missing numbers are instead of just counting together or out loud. This is cute too. So, way to party, chapter 1.2. So then you say, what number is this? And then you have them count them out and things like that. So it's super cute and relatable to children. Let's see what goes on here.
Poke to wake up the Ulzus.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's adorable.
Good job.
So now we've got more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So you get the idea.
Awesome.
And I think my students are really going to enjoy using it. And I feel like it's extremely appropriate for the grade level. Again, I would feel like I'm going to implement this as a whole class, not necessarily one-on-one with any students, or have them doing it on their tablets or anything like that if they do have them in kindergarten. I don't know yet. I haven't witnessed that in my clinical hours yet, but I wouldn't be surprised by the time I get into it. Really user friendly. I feel like it's super helpful And you see here you got all the lower and upper elementary classes. So if you wanted to adjust it, or say your students are doing really well, you can always try something from first grade if they're doing really well on numbers and things like that. So you're not, tied to one thing based on what you signed up with and things like that. And I just think it's going to be a really nice thing to explore with my students. And it seems to have a lot of content that we can explore together and learn from interactively.